Hello everybody, it's Monday night the 28th of July 2025 and I'm going to talk tonight about the lady in front of you in these pictures, Jessica Zrinksi, who went missing in 2022, approximately 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. She jumped into a blue Commodore station wagon at Mimosa Road, Greenfield Park, near Bosley Park. Apparently didn't know the gentleman, got in the car, was later seen at the Horsley Drive getting petrol, and later on up at Mount Victoria towards the Blue Mountains that evening. And that was the last time anyone had seen her. The car in question came out the next morning at around 9 a.m. up at Mount Victoria or in the vicinity, and appeared on CCTV on his own. Jessica was not in the passenger seat, so there's a 10 to 12 hour gap from midnight that night till 9 o'clock that morning approximately. Police know the car, had it for 3 to 4 months apparently, impounded it. They know the registered owner, who was the guy that was actually driving the vehicle that night. He's reluctant to talk and he's not helping the police progress the investigation, so he's got his own reasons for that. But as we get into this shortly, pardon me, you'll notice the car goes in to the Blue Mountains that night relatively clean. The next morning it appears wheels are dusty and dirty. There's dust up beside the car, scratches that weren't there before, and a branch hanging out the back passenger side rear door. It's wedged between the pillar and the door. Approximately 2 to 3 feet long, or 90 centimetres. A bit of shrubbery out of the bush that got caught. I can't explain why it's there other than the back door was open in that night in the bush somewhere. The door closed, the branch got caught, and he has not seen it, and he's driven out the following morning on his own. And lo and behold, it comes up on CCTV. So the car itself, I've been told, was shortly after it was released by police. Was advertised and as wrecking, as parts. So I'd imagine that was 2 years ago, so the car's probably non-existent now. But that's all right, the police had it for 3 to 4 months. Obviously we don't know what they found, but they do. And that's good. So yeah, so that's the vehicle. There it is again, pulling up into a service station that night. And I don't know if you can see that blue Commodore station wagon in the background. That's him, the vehicle, and the vehicle that Jessica got into that night. Apparently she didn't know him. It was unlike her not to be non-sociable, so she was friendly. Maybe they were bored, he offered her a lift or up to the mountains to a lookout or whatever the case may be, but she got in anyway. She hasn't been seen since. The police have done searches out at the Hampton State Forest, which is where they concentrated their efforts, which is where they believe she is. They had pole air, a bomb squad, volunteers, emergency rescue, civilians, 300 apparently, all up, I read. So it was a pretty intensive search for 3 days, but they didn't find her or anything belonging to her that we know of anyway. But on a brighter note, which narrows the forest down a bit because we've been out there on several occasions now trying to match up the dust on the car, particular colour of that dust on the car, to dirt roads out on Genolan Caves Road. And the forest itself has a main road, a main artery that goes right around, or splits into sections rather, but it's sort of the main road in, and you get to the top, you can get a left or right, and it's the same colour dust. We think, given the mushroom pickers, trail bike riders, campers, four-wheel drivers that come in and out every week for the last 3 years, had she been visible to the naked eye, within distance, anywhere along those tracks, or the four-wheel drive tracks, she would have been spotted. So if she's in there, she's in there deeper and or concealed somewhere. We don't know just yet. But we went out there. What we did do though was the particular vehicle in question that the police seized. We have one with the same wheelbase and the same height, and that's going to be used in the state forest. So wherever that, if that blue car was in there and went to certain places, or the vehicle we have will go there too. So that narrows it down a bit for us. A lot of the roads you can't get into with a normal standard vehicle. You need a 4x4, and that narrows it down again. And the shrubbery on his car, when you get into the forest, away from where the mushroom picking is and the pine trees, you start to come into gum tree territory with foliage a metre and a half high, along the sides of the roads and the tracks and trails. So that's just a thought. But the council workers, line markers, electricity commission workers, fencers and various other people along Genolan Caves Road, if she was visible to the naked eye, they would have seen her by now. So, and that road's very thin and narrow. A lot of places you can't stop, especially in the high speed zones, 80k's, 90k's. So we think, given what the police have said, and there's a ton of information online, and looking at that vehicle and everything else, with what the police have done and what the police have said, it's highly probable now she's in the Hampton State Forest. The police know that, we don't. They have their information, but we're not privy to it, but that's fine. The fact that they think she's in there is good enough for me. So we'll be heading out there. I thought I'd do this tonight briefly and quickly. She was 30 years old, in her hometown basically, which is relatively safe and lit up well. And yeah, this guy, this gentleman gave her a lift, and that was it. I don't know who this guy is, where he lives or what he does. That's not my concern. For the next at least 12 months, there'll be a group of us going up there and back again and back up again. Actually walking through the places where the cars may go, but where people wouldn't go. And we think she's probably laying in there somewhere, possibly. But in any case, that's what's happened so far. We know a few other things, and when I do my second update, I'll elaborate on those things as well. But I'm looking forward to it. I've got my probe and a machine. I think with a polar helicopter and everything, back in 2022, a lot of places they wouldn't have been able to see through the canopy of the forest. So I've been in there and looked up, and a lot of places it's just no sun, no light. It's just foliage from the top of the trees. So yeah, there's lots to do, but we've narrowed it down with the roads. We've been right around the place. We've narrowed it right down. There's absolutely no way a standard vehicle could go in a lot of the places that we've marked. Not that they don't need searching, but you know, this is the only vehicle we know of that she was in. So It's lowered to the ground a little bit from factory. It's got those big wheels with the low profile tyres, and front spoiler and everything else. And if you look into the CCTV clips and various other clips of that vehicle from that night and the next day on a big screen, you'll notice a lot of similarities, and you'll also notice a lot of new things on the vehicle that was not there the previous night. So whatever it's done, it's been on a dirt road. As I said, it's no point me going over it now. It's all on online now if you're interested to look at it. But yeah, with that, I'll leave that now. It's just wanted to touch on that, and that's what we're going to do for the next 12 months. She's out there. She didn't come home. It's horrific. You know, and some of her friends have got in touch with me, close friends, best friends, and voiced their opinion, concern, and desire to locate her. So that's what you do. You just keep backing up until you get some sort of break. As I did with the previous matter with Catherine Grosvenor, Nima Faye, sorry, I've got a mental blank at the moment. Got so many things going through my head. Gordana Kotetsky from 1995, up in Charleston, Newcastle, and Janine Vaughan. That's all out there now. All I'm hoping is that the families look at it, work it out, and produce it to their detectives that's in charge of the particular person's situation, and ask them, is this true? Were these guys in the area? Can these guys do this? I think once you find out about the gentleman, you'll learn to realise that one of them in particular, that's exactly what he did. And then maybe the police can debunk it or say to you, well, we don't know, we can't rule them out. Well, they can rule them out. And if you get that, that will give you some answers. If they can't rule them out, and it's a possibility that these guys were the guys, as I believe they were, well, that's a new start. It opens a ballpark on a whole world of things pertaining to these two guys that the police can dive into, that rabbit hole. But in any case, I'll leave that for now. It's getting late, and I'll do an update in a few months. We'll be heading out there soon, so hopefully everything will go well and the weather will be fine for us. But yeah, it's a pretty brutal place once you start getting deep into the forest. Easy to get lost. So you need a few devices with you to help you track your way back out. But I'll have people with me, so we've got a plan, and we'll stay safe, not lose each other, and yeah, get stuck right into it and see what pans out. So on that, I'll bid you a good night, and thank you.